Gotta be careful with these girls too. These girls, man, they'll set your ass up quick, bro. Like I'm telling y'all, man, the world's getting wicked, man. Like these girls will lie on you just because you got a name, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like they would, or that you got. Like it's not even that you got a name. Some of these females are just soulless, bro. Like they have issues, mental, emotional issues, bro. Like that's what I'm saying, man. Like you just can't roll with everybody. You can't just be around everybody, man. Cause this, I don't think Corey would kidnap. Like kidnap? What? Man, like this man is rich, man. Like he's a YouTuber, bro. He get money, bro. Like why kidnap? You can get any girl, nigga. Like I don't see it, bro.
One of the women told police Pritchett then made a video call to another woman saved in his phone as future wife. He allegedly asked the woman on the call, "If I had the perfect opportunity and was in the middle of nowhere where no one could hear them scream, should I just go ahead and do it?" And the woman reportedly responded, "Yes." The woman told police that Pritchett told them, "I'm gonna F y'all and then kill y'all." By this point,
what? Fuck him and kill him is crazy. Not Corey. Look at his face right now. Like this nigga look like, man, I don't know. He going through some shit then, cause this is true. That's ridiculous. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy JUAN 1000. I keep it a band all the time. Owner and CEO of Rare Safari Clothing, aka Rare Journey. Cause life is a journey, man. Back at the game with JUAN React to everything on my life journey, man. It's 2025. I'm about to be consistent every single day. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. What's going on with Corey, man? Really my dog on YouTube growing up. I used to watch him for real. Like that's crazy, man. It's going on. Like I've been seeing all this shit on my YouTube feed. Just Corey, this nigga. Kidnapping, all tight. I don't know what's going on, but let's see, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into the video, man.
A new update in a case that expanded from Texas to Qatar.
Look, come down there. Come on. Can't get over here.
Remember him? That's YouTuber Corey Pritchett Jr. Now, earlier this year, we reported that Pritchett allegedly kidnapped 2 women in Texas. He later hopped on a nearly 20-hour flight all the way to the Middle East, but not to Dubai like he once flaunted to his millions of social media followers.
I moved to Dubai.
What?
The people that's want
moving to Dubai?
So good out here. My kids, listen. So
shit look hard though.
I'm having more kids, right? With my future wife, for sure. And Aiden, my kids are gonna be homeschooled, bro. It's getting real wicked in the United States. A lot of y'all not paying attention because a lot of y'all sleep, and the news outlets are not speaking on a lot of that's going on there. It's gonna get real over there. Y'all might think I'm lying.
When he moved to Dubai, y'all, that's crazy. He just hopped and moved.
You know, people don't believe until the shit hit the fan. That's one thing I noticed about most people in the United States. They want to party, live life, until it hit the fan. When they hit the fan, and everybody
is he in Dubai now?
Instead, ended up in Qatar. So how does a content creator with
millions
of followers end up on the FBI's radar? Well, it first started on November 22nd when a woman exchanged numbers with Pritchett. The unnamed woman told investigators she and a friend met up with Pritchett. First, it was harmless fun, like working out, ATV riding, and bowling. But it was that trip to the bowling alley where it took a dark turn. The 2 women reportedly felt like something was off when Pritchett and his 2 friends started acting strange. According to one of the women, they were repeatedly looking around, seemed on edge, and were acting suspicious.
What the fuck?
That's when they learned Pritchett and his friends were having issues with another group at the bowling alley. So the 2 women told Pritchett if he continued acting that way, he should just leave with his friends. So he left. But after some time, the women texted him to get their things out of his car. They all met up at an HEB.
What? This already sounds some fishy shit. What? Come on, like Corey doing this, man? Really? Man, that sounds like some predator shit, man. I don't know.
Pritchett switched up his mood and offered them a ride home, and they said yes. But Pritchett flipped again. The women told investigators he began acting erratically and skipped what was supposed to be their route to get home. The women said Pritchett claimed someone was after him and started making phone calls. He then started driving so fast, going past 100 miles per hour. The women claim he pulled out a gun and started waving at the sunroof while still driving erratically fast, then began firing the gold-color handgun out of the car window. One of the women reportedly took
Who's chasing him?
To her apartment and tried to calm him down by asking him to pray with them. But he still continued driving crazy fast down the I-10 highway. One of the women told police Pritchett then made a video call to another woman saved in his phone as future wife. He allegedly asked the woman on the call, If I had the perfect opportunity and was in the middle of nowhere where no one could hear them scream, should I just go ahead and do it? And the woman on the line
What?
reportedly responded, yes. The woman in
Do
the
it.
car told police that Pritchett told them, I'm gonna F y'all and then kill y'all. By this point, the women
What? Fuck him and kill him is crazy. Not Corey. Look at his face right now. Like, this nigga look like, man. I don't know. He going through some shit then, cause this is true. That's ridiculous.
said they were texting one another during all of this, but told authorities Pritchett then started pointing the gun at them and took their phones away so they couldn't communicate with each other. According to police, Pritchett then pulled off the highway onto the shoulder of I-10 near Sealy, Texas. Seemingly with a change of heart, he told the women to get out of his car, allegedly telling them this is your only opportunity. So you can imagine how scary this is. You're
Oh,
dropped
hell
off in the middle
no.
of the night, left stranded, and your phone is taken from you. The women told police they spent more than an hour along the side of the highway before they were able to flag down a driver who called 911. But their stories were corroborated by a huge clue that would help investigators piece together what happened.
Who are the
The woman
girls?
had the Life 360 app on her phone, and screenshots, which included timestamps and the route they took, supported the victim's story of what happened. Pritchett was ID'd through his driver's license and social media pages. But a huge problem. When investigators reached out to him, his phone was no longer in service.
Oh,
Instead, they
shit.
found out through his TikTok that he was planning to move to Dubai. So here's where the FBI stepped
Nigga
in.
told on
They found out
himself.
Pritchett
It's
didn't
true.
buy a ticket there. Instead, purchased a one-way ticket to Qatar on December 9th. It didn't stop authorities, though, from charging him. And December 26th, he was charged with aggravated kidnapping. And despite the serious
Oh,
charge,
hell
Pritchett,
no.
like most content creators, kept on posting. On January 4th, he posted an article from the Houston news station KPRC, along with the caption, in part saying, "Let the show begin, hashtag Houston, Texas. Let me show you how to take the monsters down the hashtag smooth way." You see it say accused, right? Don't worry, LOL. I'm finna give you the details right here and in
what
the
the
court of law.
fuck?
Well, that all caught up to him, and this week he was arrested on the aggravated kidnapping charge. And all
They
the
got
work
his
he did
ass.
on social media might have just been that, for social media. According to KPRC in Houston, his financial affidavit showed he requested a public defender, reporting his monthly income at a whopping $0.00 and no listed assets.
Huh?
I want to give a huge thank you to
$0, 0
amazing
cents.
sponsors like
Corey?
Outside it's a super cool and free.
Joining me now to break down this case even further is Texas-based criminal defense attorney Bridget Williams. Bridget, thank you so much for joining me today. You know, this case is an interesting one. You have a social media content creator and personality. He's accused of kidnapping two women, fleeing off to Qatar. What's your reaction to this case?
This is crazy.
It's something that is definitely mind-blowing when we think about it.
Where's guitar at? What is that? I gotta look that shit up. Let's look it up, y'all.
Charged with the
Well, no,
offense of
we'll look it up later.
aggravated kidnapping. I'm interested to see the timing of everything, because when we talk about did he flee or abscond to the UAE, when was he notified about the charge, and was that something that he considered when he booked his flight to Qatar, or was that something he already did? That's something that will come out in the evidence, but it's definitely something to take into consideration. I'm sure the court took that into consideration when setting his bond as well.
Yeah, that
Man.
$100,000 bond is a lot of money for sure. And talk to me a
He
little
gotta
bit about
have
the
it,
law
though.
in Texas of aggravated
Like,
kidnapping.
you two paying
How
that check.
serious is that charge, and how long could Corey Pritchett face behind bars if he's convicted or pleads guilty to a charge like this?
So we'll start with just like the basics of kidnapping. So kidnapping is a third-degree felony, and so
Oh,
that's
hell
the
no.
intentional or knowingly abducting of another person. It's escalated to an aggravated kidnapping with a couple of different circumstances that can occur. One of them is if the person attempts to inflict bodily harm or sexual abuse on the other, and that's what this person is being charged with.
Yeah, see?
The offense
Yeah, I'm
has a
saying.
punishment range once it
That's
reaches
another thing. Y'all
aggravated.
gotta be careful with these girls, too. These girls, man, they'll set your ass up quick, bro. Like, I'm telling y'all, man, the world is getting wicked, man. Like, these girls will lie on you just because you got a name, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like, they would, or that you got, like, it's not even that you got a name. Some of these females are just soulless, bro. Like, they have issues, mental, emotional issues, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, you just can't roll with everybody. You can't just be around everybody, man. Because I don't think Corey would kidnap. Like, kidnap? What? Man, Like this man is rich, man. Like he's a YouTuber, bro. He get money, bro. Like why kidnap? You can get any girl, nigga. Like I don't see it, bro. I don't see it, bro. Mm-hmm.
Aggravated kidnapping to first degree. First degree has a punishment range of up to 99 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Now, if Corey can show that this is one of the defenses that he dropped the ladies off in a safe area, then technically the charge can be reduced to a second degree. However, in this particular instance, I don't foresee that being something that he will say as he dropped them off on the side of the interstate, right? So that doesn't make it a safe environment. But if a person can show that they did release the victim into a safe area, then their charge from aggravated kidnapping can be reduced from a first degree to a second.
Wow, that's just a lot of time. Plus, the gravity of the situation is very serious. And I remember when this story first came about, and it seemed through his social media that Corey Pritchett didn't appear, I should say, to be really kind of taking it seriously if you kind of just go off what he put
So
on social
bro,
media
really not worried about
and
it.
the women he was with. So I kind of, given everything that we know right now, I want to ask you, do you agree that this was the right charge in this case?
I do think it's the right
Hmm.
charge because the this is based off of what the women have said to the investigators. Because otherwise,
Right.
it would just be a kidnapping. If I was course defense counsel, now I would make this be a trial
I mean, some
case
of these girls are
because there's
weird, bro.
several
I
issues
don't
here
know.
with the case. So it could be it's a interesting portion for this particular case. So the first thing to think about is that the women voluntarily got into the vehicle with him, and that's going to be something that defense counsel raises. Now it transitions, and this is the arguable part here, is that it can transition into a kidnapping when the women have stated in their testimony with investigators that he pointed a gun at both of them and
Yeah,
stated
that part of
in
the gun
some
shit
very
crazy.
colorful language that he was going to sexually abuse them and then even kill them. And so that's when it transitions into an aggravated
Yeah, yeah.
kidnapping at that
But
point.
man, that shit sound man like really, bro. I don't know, bro. Who is these girls? Can we get pictures of them? Like this shit not real, bro.
Now,
Like
the text
what?
messages between the women and Corey, that's going to play a very important role in if this case continues to be a trial or if he accepts some type of plea agreement. And so that information would really be important as far as it being a trial or a plea agreement.
I'm scared to talk to
I'm
these
sure,
girls, bro.
the
These girls are
investigators,
weird,
when we
man.
first learned of this case, it probably is hard for these two women to go and tell police, we met this guy, we hung out with him all day, we went to the bowling alley with him. Then all this stuff happened. He dropped us off on the side of the road. But investigators say they used one of the women's phones using a Life 360 app to kind of piece together what had happened, corroborating further their own accounts of what happened in their story. So I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on that type of evidence and how Corey Pritchett's defense attorneys might be able to poke holes, if they can poke holes in this evidence of kind of leading where the phone took them and just how Life 360 kind of played a part in corroborating their stories. Can the defense really poke any type of holes in that?
Yeah, well, I'm not completely sure how Life 360 app works. My understanding is that it can be a GPS tracker, which allows for people to be able to track the phone location. And so there may be some other features that it allows for, and so to help corroborate the women's story. But the
Man, this is
defense attorneys
scary,
will be
man.
looking
This make you
for
not want to
every
talk to
possible
females,
option
bro.
to corroborate these women's
'Cause I don't
stories,
see it with Corey, dude.
because that's the only way that they're
Y'all think
going to
he did this?
proceed
Y'all let me know
and
in the
be
comments, please.
victorious in a kidnapping, aggravated kidnapping charge, because otherwise it's their word against his word. And so they're going to be looking for every option, every opportunity, everything that they have in order to
They trying to get
use
that
to move
money,
forward
man.
with this aggravated kidnapping charge.
And do you see a case like this going to trial? I can only imagine what that could even look like.
So he
Do you
get
see
locked up. Would
this
they get
going to
money? I
trial?
think so.
And if not, do you see prosecutors possibly offering Corey Pritchett a deal in this case?
I would say I would foresee it going to a trial setting. A lot of times when it is one person's word against the other person's word, a lot of times those cases do go to trial. And so again, with the women voluntarily got into the vehicle with him, and we move forward into it transitions to that aggravated kidnapping based off of their testimony that he pointed the gun at them and said that he was going to kill them. And so at that point is the transition over. And so I do foresee this being a trial case unless the prosecution offers him, I would say, a reduction down, so a reduced offer, which happens sometimes. It just depends on the evidence that they have, and what they will be charging
Bro,
him with
this is crazy, bro.
going forward. And so they may
Life
offer
finna go
him a
to waste over some
reduction, some type
girls.
of probationary
It's not
period that
worth
could
it, bro.
include
It's
some
just
jail
not. You can
time,
find another
or
girl.
could include some classes. We
Like,
don't know.
it's
But
not
unless
hard,
they
bro.
offer him something that's reduced, I could see this being a trial case.
And what do you make of just the whole aspect of Corey Pritchett being this social media personality, being this content
It
creator
sounds.
with millions of followers? And then you have that other aspect too, where, we all know, covering a lot of stories kind of similar to this one, that, not everything that you see on social media is really what it is in real life. And for example, in this case, Corey Pritchett signing that financial
Bro, this
affidavit
is
with
weird, bro.
a defendant
This don't seem
essentially
like
saying that he
him.
has like no assets or money to pay for a defense attorney. What do you kind of make of just that, you know, 360 or 180, I should say, just from seeing the persona that we all see on social media versus what these allegations are and what he's being accused of?
Yeah, I think that's a really great point, in that things are not always as they appear. And so sometimes people present their best selves, or we don't know what they're using to present their best selves, or this facade of who they want to be on social media.
Man,
We
hopefully,
have no
man, he didn't
idea.
do this, man.
But if he had the assets or had any type of a financial resources available, then he could have used those resources to post his bond, right? He has $100,000 bond. If he were to use a bail bondsman company, most of the time the bail bondsman companies
Man, he
will
gotta use that
charge
YouTube
a
checks.
portion of that amount. And so they
Mm-mm.
generally don't pay the full amount. And then the bail bondsman company is just responsible for the remaining amount. So let's say that the bail bondsman company charges you
Man, 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 man. We gonna be saying man throughout this whole video. Man,
then
man,
that's all
man.
that the defendant or his family would pay out of pocket, in order for him to be released. And so, in my mind, that's saying that $10,000 is what he would have to put up. Now, that's still not a small amount of money, right? But
Yeah.
however, if you are saying that you're this person who goes to Qatar and do all these things again, we don't know what someone's financial responsibilities are,
Man, I
what
ain't
their
got money.
resources are. And so we just, you never know what a person's financial aspects are.
Yeah, of course, because given, we never know that maybe all the money was kind of put into this move to the Middle East, possibly as well too, which could explain, the no assets or no money for a defense attorney. And speaking of that, where do you think this whole aspect of him fleeing off to Qatar, even though he told his followers he was going to Dubai, where do you think that all kind of plays into kind of potentially an admission of guilt? Do you think that this, I know we kind of spoke briefly about it earlier in our discussion, but do you think it was planned? Do you think it was to kind of get away from what he's being accused of? Or do you think that it was just, what? I do want this new life for myself. I do want to
This
try
is
to move out
scary,
here
man.
and
This is
just start
scary.
fresh. Or do you think it kind of played into what he's being accused of?
I think that's going to boil down to the timing. So, when did he book his flight to Qatar? When did he book all of the things that are related to starting this new life in Qatar or the UAE, wherever it is? When did you do these things? Was it before or was it after you were charged with this offense? That's what it's going to boil down to. As far as for an admission of guilt, I don't think it goes to an admission of guilt. However, it can show that he was absconding or trying to flee away from the charge and the responsibilities and the punishment of it, again, based on the timing. And so, best believe if I was a prosecutor, I'm going to be bringing that up in a trial setting. I'm sure that they brought that up in the bond setting, which is why his bond is what it is. And so, that is information that can be brought up in a trial setting. Now, again, if that flight or all of the plans that he made happened prior to the charge, then defense counsel is going to say, well, this is just
This is
plans that he
crazy.
made for him to better himself and his career, right? And that's something that is just
I wonder how
centered
Carmen
around
feel
the
right now.
timing.
And I guess we'll have to wait and see how this all
Does she give a
continues
fuck?
to play out. Bridget, I want to thank you so much for your time today. But before we sign you off, though, where do you think this whole entire case goes from here?
Well, what happens after this time period is that Corey, until or unless he can place the bond or pay for the bond, he will be in the Harris County Jail until this trial or until he accepts some type of plea agreement. So until the trial moves forward or until he accepts the plea agreement. Now, that could be anywhere between now and years from now, honestly. The defense counsels can file something for a speedy trial if he is sitting in jail and cannot make the bond.
Hell
They can
no.
file that. However, that still can be another
Man,
year
you
or
you
so,
just be sitting
depending
in
on
there
how long
wasting your
that can
life.
be.
That's
And so
fine.
these trials don't happen immediately.
Gotta stay out the way.
And so it can take some time.
Yeah, and again, gonna have to wait and see how this all continues to play out. Bridget, again, thank you so much for your insight into this case. I really appreciate it.
Damn.
Thank you for having me.
Corey Pritchett Jr.'s bond was initially set at $100,000. Now it's at $200,000. And at this time, online records show he remains behind bars in the Harris County Jail in Houston, Texas. Reporting for Law and Crime,
Damn.
I'm Elizabeth Milner.
Y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Free Corey.